One of the things that we're always trying to do is to help our students understand the bigger world beyond them. But we also want to help them find their own gifts and talents and find a way to serve all of community with the talents that they have been given. So by having Captain Foreman here, an astronaut to come and speak to them, it shows them what you can do with all of your talents. And after all, we want them to reach for the stars. Here's someone who's really reaching for the stars.
We work with the Greater Cleveland Partnership at NASA Glenn, and there's a connection from Greater Cleveland Partnership with a parent, I think, here at the school. Okay. And through that connection, they asked me if I could come out, and I said, sure, I'm happy to do that. So
Super.
Worked out.
And just one thing, last thing, and I'll let you go, is like, what do you find most important about inspiring these kids and like going into science and math? I mean, this is a high-profile event today, and just talk to me about how important it is that kids see that they can make the right choices and go into careers in space.
I think we need to keep that our edge in this country in science and technology and engineering and math. And I come in here and tell them, hey, I'm an engineer, that's what I studied in school, I like math, I like science, and here's one of the jobs that you could possibly do as an engineer is become an astronaut. So hopefully these students will say, hey, yeah, maybe math and science are cool, and I like to do that. So that's my whole message, and I'll tell them a little bit about how hard it was for me to become an astronaut, and show that you tell them that you don't give up on your first or second failure, when you're trying to do something. You got to hang in there and keep working at it. So my 8 or 9-year-old mind, I figured out, hey, I'll become a Navy pilot, and then I'll become an astronaut. So I told my parents that was my plan. I was going to be a naval aviator and then an astronaut. And my dad said, well, if you're thinking about being a Navy pilot, you should investigate this place called the Naval Academy. And I said, what's the Naval Academy? And he said, well, it's a college that you go to, but I'm not going to tell you. You need to do the research yourself. My dad was pretty smart. He wanted me to go and find out for myself. He didn't want to just tell me all the answers. But we didn't have computers back then. We didn't have Google. Can you imagine life without Google? It's hard to, But so I looked up. We had the World Book encyclopedias in my house. In my mother's house right now, I could probably find the volume for V and the volume for R, and that's about all that's left. But back when I was a kid, I looked up the Naval Academy. I found an address for them, and I wrote a letter to the U.S. Naval Academy. And I said, I'm interested in your school. Can you send me some information? And they sent me this thing called a college catalog. A college catalog tells all about the school. And this college catalog from the Naval Academy had pictures of guys playing baseball, football, swimming, sailing, you name it. All kinds of great activities. It looked like summer camp to me, so I said, yeah, this looks like a great place to go to school. Didn't have a lot of pictures of guys sitting in class all day studying aerospace engineering, but that you find out later that's what you really do in college most of the time is you go to class. So I said, yeah, I'll go to the Naval Academy, I'll become a Navy pilot, and then I'll become an astronaut.
0 and liftoff of Space Shuttle Atlantis on a mission to build, resupply, and to do research on the International Space Station.